Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of WhimsyCraft, and as you can see from my hunger bars, that took a couple tries. I might have hit the wall just a few times getting that shot. And welcome back to another video. I've been gone a little bit, being sick, but I did do some work, as you saw in that intro. Now let's go ahead and switch the shaders off and take a look at everything that's been done. So I didn't record this bit over here, but I have built this wall. All the way down, all this here, I think it was right about here that it stopped. And then it stopped right over there on the other side of that farm. So I went ahead and put all of this in and did all the moss work. And then I decided that wasn't enough. So then I decided to build this whole thing here as well. So this is kind of like the outer side of the mountain. And then if I go around, there's another little bit under here that I decided to build. So basically everything here that I'm kind of touching, I built that, all of that. So yeah, and then also when we come back up, we've got our waterfalls now. I went in here and I did all the moss work down in here as well. So now that pipe makes sense. We still have a few blocks here that still need to be melted. And then over here, I still have some water that I need to put in here. And of course we want to get all of our coral in here. But other than that, I mean, this area is pretty much like the foundation of it is in. And apparently so are drowned and creepers. It's very dangerous down there. I really gotta... No! Oh no. That was not good because I blew up way up there. And now we're down here. Give me a moment while I figure a way to get up there. Okay, well, after a quick fix and a new set of pants, because I did lose mine, I don't know where they went. And I'm going to stand over here because I've designated that whole area unsafe for now. We're going to move on to today's projects. And seeing how I feel like I've gotten so much of this base done, we're going to head out of the base and back to the shopping district. That's right, we're heading back because we got another shop to build for more diamonds. You see, I've been working down here at the farm and I have been collecting a lot of materials to take over there so that we can sell. Well, we need a shop to sell them in. Now I've gathered a whole bunch of a little bit of everything. This whole row is the prismarine bricks. This one right here. This whole row is the lanterns. And this whole row is just a straight prismarine. These are just kind of extras that I've been kind of storing, you know, when you don't have enough to craft. Now if we go back over here, this is again completely full. So I'm going to have to clean this out. I have done some work. The farm has had some additions. And really, we're outgrowing this little area, and I'm definitely going to have to do something about all this stuff. I did mention it in a previous video how I wanted to change all this around, and we might get to that in this video. Because this is too much. As of right now, what I'm doing is I'm going in here, getting the materials, crafting them, coming over here, putting them into shulker boxes, and then I built that little thing over there so I could take the fish and get rid of all the fish, because the fish were driving me crazy. So if we just dump them in here, they'll start shooting out, and then while I'm over here crafting, all the fish get dumped out of there. Right back into the sea. Kinda where they belong? Now what I'd like to do is kind of change the bottom of this platform to fit all of this, and kind of just make my life a little bit easier down here. How I'm gonna do that? I have no clue. But that will have to wait until later, because again, I don't know if we're gonna get to that, because we have a shop to build. I have a fish in my inventory. You can't get away from them. As soon as you come down here, it's just fish, constantly. This whole farm is fishy, if you ask me. So let me gather some materials and we'll head on to the shopping district. And honestly, I don't really know what we're going to build. I know I'm going to build a shop. I have an area that I have picked out. But as far as the shop, I have no clue. This one is just going to be a free build. So let's head on over and add one more shop to our empire. And here we are at the shopping district and it's raining as normal. And this is the area that I've picked to build the prismarine shop. Right here. Not necessarily right here, but inside that hill. And here we have everything laid out nice and neat so that we can find everything. And all I've really brought is a lot of bits and bobs, really. Like, I've got just a bunch of random stuff that I'm hoping we can turn into something over here. But as you can see, it's just a bunch of random bits and bobs. So I'm going to use that to create this, whatever this may be. But one thing it'll be is a shop that makes diamonds, because there's definitely been a request for sea lanterns. So I'm going to dig into this hill right here, and there's a pocket in there underneath all these shops that I'm going to use to build this shop. So I guess the first thing we need to do is get in there to it, which means I need to get to it. Shoveling, that is. And now we have a Prismarine shop. So let's talk about it. I left the entrance very minimal. I didn't want to disturb too much out here due to 1, scans already landscaped this area, and 2, I don't know, somebody might want to put a shop right here. So for that reason, I left it kind of plain out here, and I did all the decorations pretty much on the inside. Now the only thing sticking out is the little piece heading right here to the water and this top piece right here, which I didn't think this would matter too much sticking out right here because it's right behind my shops, but I just didn't want to take too much space on either side. After all, part of being a good neighbor is making sure that you leave space for your other neighbors. So starting right here in the beginning, we've got these sea lanterns that are using the copper chains, and then what I did was I used the mini block sea lanterns to make it look like it was kind of a chandelier. And now I'm just waiting for all these to oxidize like this so that I can make it match everything here, because this doesn't really match too well. But it will, in time. Now, of course, we've got to have our guards guarding the shop because it's a shop, you know, you got to watch your profits here. Now, as we go in, I wanted to transition from the outside and a lot of that natural light to in here. And what I did was I used the sea lanterns and blue glass panes to give this effect here, almost like it's introducing you into the underwater environment. And once you come in here, you really feel like you're underwater. Now I accomplished this trick by using blue glass, and then I melted ice in the middle and then put more blue glass on top. The same with down here in all of these behind the chests. Just because we're not underwater doesn't mean it can't feel like we're underwater. Now, of course, because I wanted to kind of replicate the treasure room, we have this here, which is actually just filled with sea lanterns. Now I have each one of the chests basically labeled with the mini block that's in there. So right here we have the dark prismarine, right here is sea lanterns, we have the regular prismarine, and we have the prismarine blocks. Now I have not filled all of these up, as you can see. So I'm definitely going to have to get some more materials. The sea lanterns was the one that most people wanted, so it is pretty much almost all filled up. And this one's a little bit harder to get because I have to have the dye to make it, so it's going to be a little more expensive. It's 2 diamonds for this one, and then the rest of these are 1 diamond per stack. I felt like that was fairly fair. I mean, it does take some manual labor, and you know, I have to be at the farm, and there's some work involved. So it's not 100% hands-off, so I'm going to have to charge accordingly. Now, over here at the counter, we are displaying all the products that are for sale, and as you can see, I'm over here hard at work, all the time. So much so that I have to be in 2 places at once. I'm really into that block back there. Overall, I feel like this shop really fits for the theme, and you know, there's space where I could add some more things if I wanted to, maybe down the road. Or maybe add a product that would fit with it. I think we have the room to expand. I could even sell them behind the counter there. Plenty of options. But for now, I think what we need to do is fix the problem of not having enough of resources for this shop. So I think what we need to do is head back to the base and fix our farm. Look, it's raining again. Who would have ever thought it was raining again on Whimsy? Alright, so I'm going to head to the base, and I will see you when I get there. So what I'm thinking about doing is taking this platform here and extending this area all the way down there to where these sea lanterns are. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to rebuild this entire platform maybe about 2 or 3 blocks below, fill this thing in like a cylinder, and then I should have all the room I need to craft everything for this farm. I also want to change up the fish dispenser there, and maybe not have it dumping all the fish into the sea, or maybe we will. I'm not sure, but that's a lot of items just floating around, and I think it might be better if we just go ahead and send them into some lava or something and get them destroyed. After all, we don't want to overload the server. So I'm going to grab some materials, and we are going to expand this farm. and now we have a functional farm, and it's way better than it was. I mean, this thing is much more practical than what I was dealing with before. So now everything just kind of gets filtered down into these boxes here. And then I can easily just sit here and grab and craft, and then fill all these up as I go. See? Much more efficient. All the fish are now being dumped into this lava right here, so I don't have to worry about fish backing up the system, and when I'm done, I can just stack everything over here. Nice and neat in the corner. And that way, everything is contained right here in arm's reach, where I can work and get everything done, and that way it doesn't take me as long. Now let's hop out in free cam real quick, and we'll look at some of the details that I did change in between the time lapse and now. I did put in this deep slate brick right here, and I changed these up just to give it a little bit of contrast, because it was kind of all meshing together, and that was not quite looking right. So now everything is looking a lot better. Also, on this side over here, I kind of ran out of room on the inside, so I had to put all the redstone out here for the dispensers so that all the fish will go into that lava. But I think it matches with the outside of the build, and it fits in quite well. You don't even hardly notice it. Now in this chest right here, I keep a bunch of shulker boxes just so as I fill these up, I can keep restocking them, and that way I don't have to go all the way back up to my ship to restock for supplies. So I think we have gotten quite a bit done this episode. We've finished up a bunch of the base, we've built an entire shop for the Prismarine, we've fixed the Prismarine farm. I'm feeling like we've gotten quite a bit accomplished today. So, let's go ahead and do the outro. I want to thank each and every one of you for making it to the end of this video, and if you could, go ahead and do the like, subscribe, share, comments, especially them comments, you guys. I really like seeing the comments. Also, down in the description, you'll find all of my links, including the link to the WhimsyCraft Discord, where you can find me and all the other Whimsies. You can also find a link to my Patreon, where if you want to help support what I do over here, that's a good place to do it. I have 3 different tiers, and each tier offers its own special little things. And seeing how this episode was 3 weeks late because I was sick, I decided that y'all deserved a full episode. So, that's what you got. Hopefully in the future I'll be able to get back to making more episodes like this that are a little bit longer and a lot more detailed. But until then, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye everyone!